All right, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kwadash, Laiwalam Yam. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, the ones out there who are doing this work diligently and chiefly keeping the faith, making your calling and your election sure. I'm going to get right into it. Now, as you can see in the title, it says 4 medicinal herbs for diabetes. This is not medical advice. I'm just gonna go over what I have here in my books. Hopefully this is edifying. I know Jake, Jake goes through, different ailments in the body. And, the Lord has put medicines in the earth. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that real quick to start it off. The Lord has put medicines in the earth that we can take advantage of that can give us some type of healing. Now, we know that healing comes from the Lord. That's who, gives us the ability to be healed. But, the Lord has created herbs in the earth. This is Sirach chapter 38 and verse 4. It says, the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Okay, so we're going to get into the 4 most effective Midwest medicinal plants for diabetes. Now, once again, this is not medical advice, so I don't want this video to get striked. This is not medical advice. This is just, some herbs that's out there that could help. All right, now the first herb would be the chicory, right? It would be the chicory. Okay, this is what it looks like. Okay, now the chicory root, it can be used as an insulin for blood sugar leveling. Okay, now here's let me see if I can clear it up. You see the range and habitat. It says this is a weedy plant that is most frequently found on roadsides, railroad rights of way. Let me see, railroads, rights of way, waste areas and fields. It is most common in the southern half of the Midwest. Okay, the chicory. All right, it says in the description, this perennial European import, a close relative of the cultivated endive, is erect, 1 to 3 feet tall, and possessed of a milky sap that exudes from the stem when damaged. The plant emerges from from a very large and fleshy rootstock. Okay, so the chicory, once again, it can be used as an equivalent to an insulin, right? And it helps with blood sugar leveling. Once again, this is what it looks like. So like here. Now these are plants that could be turned into a tea, and I'm going to give directions too as well on how to turn it into a tea once I finish with the 4th plant. Now, as you can see, this is an image of how it looks in the wild right there. Chicory, the chicory plant. It's the root that's important. Well, the whole plant is edible, by the way, but you want to make sure that you don't overdo it because these plants are strong, right? Now, this chicory plant also, it says, it has been long used as a wash for inflammation of the eyes. It says, for countless generations, two herbalists have recommended that the boiled leaves and flowers, lightly wrapped in a cloth, be applied to painful inflammations on the body. Okay, so this plant also could be used, to help out with eczema inflammations. If you take the, the boiled plants and things like that, Let me see here. If you take the leaves and the flowers and you put it in a jar and combine it with, let's say, some coconut oil, and you let it sit, those minerals being combined together will create like an ointment that you can rub on for inflammation. Okay. Just to let you see if you want to take screenshots or anything like that. So this plant also has been used to treat tachycardia. Okay. So that is the chickweed, the chicory plant. The chicory plant, you'll use the chick root to help with blood sugar leveling. All right. Now let's go to the next one. The next one here is burdock root. Okay. It's the burdock root. And I believe that's on the burdock root. Let's see, so I can gotta find it. $60. Hopefully this is edifying. Hopefully this helps you out. You know, those who are out there who wants a more natural way of dealing with diabetes. Now this is burdock here. Okay, the burdock plant. This is what it looks like. Okay, now this particular plant, it says range and habitat. The burdock is found throughout Canada and in the upper portions of the United States. The preferred habitat is disturbed areas, especially vacant lots, roadsides, old fields, and pastures. I know I be seeing these plants a lot, especially in the hood. You know, in these so-called hoods, in Jake neighborhoods. See, you got medicine all around you, but if you don't know about these things, then you will ignore them. And these plants, not only are they medicinal, but they're edible. You can walk up on these plants and eat these plants and actually get full, you know? So we know the times that are approaching, you know, and people are going to be fighting over steaks and things like that, you know, fighting and unaliving each other for food that are GMOs, and dandelions will be right next to them, you know, or burdock will be right next to them. And speaking about dandelions, that's the next plant that I recommend. All right. But here you can see it. The burdock can be used as food. It says the cooked roots of first-year plants are edible and nutritious, being sweetish to the taste. Roots of the second-year plants tends to be thin and woody, since they shrink in size as the plant begins to stalk. They are passable as fare if secured early in the spring. However, unfortunately, the roots are often entrenched several feet deep, where they tenaciously cling to the soil. So they must be dug up. So like they must be dug out with a firm spade at the least. Okay, so yes, these plants could be eaten. Okay. Seasonal availability. The root is available for harvest from the plant's first season to spring of its second season. All right, this is the description if you want to take a picture of it. Let's go into health and medicine here. How can it be used medicinally? It says burdock was adopted by Native Americans for medicinal purposes after it arrived in their lands as a weedy import. Okay. You see, this plant could be used to help heal whooping cough, pulmonary complaints, cough, asthma. Okay. So that's what it looks like. All right, now we're going to go over to the next one here. in this book here in particular. This is the one of the books that I have, Midwest Medicinal Plants. And then this is the other book that I have that I was reading out of, which is another bigger version of it. Okay. This one here. If you want to screenshot that. Let me see. The next one on the list, just move right along, is called the nettle. Matter of fact, I'm going to get the dandelion first, and then I'm going to get the nettle. So the dandelion, let's get that plant. Because the dandelion, Salakia, the burdock root, I didn't tell you what it could be used for. So the burdock root, it can be used as insulin sensitivity plus liver support, you see. So that's why you will want to use the burdock root for insulin sensitivity and liver support. Now, with the dandelion root, which we're about to get to, it can be used to help pancreas and liver function. Okay. Pancreas and liver function. That's what we're about to get into right now, the dandelion. And these are the four. Let me go to it so I can bear with me. Okay, so the dandelion here. All right. That's what it looks like. Now, you know, the dandelion also has a different look to it too as well. With the actual plant, I believe it's yellow, right? The whole dandelion could be eaten from the top of the plant to the roots, to the stems, everything. See, the dandelion, the parts used, you can use the flowers, the leaves, and the roots. Okay. Now let's read this real quick. It says, the dastardly dandelion is much more than a weed and a salad green. Its flowers, leaves, and roots are useful to support digestion, the lymphatic system, and healthy urinary tract function. It is a perfect medicine that's readily available and easily to find. You can find dandelions. If you don't cut your grass, dandelions will grow up. And that's a food source right in your yard, and also a medicinal source right in your yard. So people neglect these things and run towards, you know, Esau Edom for healing, and they have healing right in their backyard. How to identify? Spiky dandelion leaves emerge from the white root crown in a basal rosette, followed by several smooth, hollow 3 to 4 inch flower stalks. Okay? Medicinal uses. If you can see that. Medicinal uses. Dandelion root is a helpful metabolic tonic for the digestive system, where it aids in digestion and absorption of minerals. Roast the root and prepare it in a tea or a tincture to include as part of a digestive herbal blend. Now, I'm going to give you the particular recipe that you can use to combine all 4 of these plants into a tea. Okay? But one moment. Let's get some off the dandelion. It says dandelion flower infused oil works well with infused oils of calendula, plantain, and violet flowers and leaves. This gentle herbal infusion is This fusion is helpful for a Maya abdominal massage. Okay, so this is just some information on the dandelion. Now let's get the last plant, which is the nettle leaf. Okay, let's get that real quick. The nettle leaf. And these are the 4 effective plants that can help you with diabetes. Let me see. It's like it. Okay, this is the nettle. This is what it looks like. This is what it does. So the nettle. All right, that's a picture of it if you can find it in the wild. All right, and like I said before earlier in the video, be careful with these herbs. They are strong, they are powerful. So you want to make sure you use a correct dosage. This is nettle. It says parts use the leaves and the seeds. Nettle is a nourishing and functional herb that doubles as a food and medicine. See? It offers minerals and is tonifying for the body. The sting of the nettle can also be medicinal by helping restore sensation to areas of the body that are deadened from nerve damage or that suffer from ghost pain. This is what it looks like here. Okay, let's get some medicinal uses. Medicinal uses. Nettle has great virtues as a nutritional food, especially important for the convulsing person. I believe that's how to pronounce it. Convulsing. Salakia, please forgive me. It says nettles are very nutrient dense and rich in vitamin C, A, and B complex, calcium, magnesium, zinc, iron, and cobalt. Okay. This is what dry nettle looks like. It says use dry nettle with meatake and hand harvested seaweed to create mineral dense teas and herb fortified bone broths. Okay, so let's get real quick. We got the 4 plants. The 4 plants, once again, the chicory root used for insulin or blood sugar leveling, the burdock root, which is used for insulin sensitivity plus liver support, the nettle leaf, which stabilizes blood sugar, and the dandelion root, which helps the pancreas plus the liver function. Okay, those 4 together are a classic herbalist formula. Now, in order to turn this into a tea, okay, what you can do is you can take 1 teaspoon of burdock root, 1 teaspoon of chicory root, 1 teaspoon of dandelion root, and 1 tablespoon of nettle leaf. Okay, so the instructions would be to put 3 roots. Put the 3 roots, the burdock, the chicory, the dandelion, into a pot. Add 2 cups of water. Let it simmer for 15 minutes. The roots need heat to release their medicines. That's how you release the medicines from these plants, by taking heat to them. All right, and then you turn off the heat and add the nettle. Okay, cover and steep for 10 minutes. Strain and drink 1 cup in the morning and 1 cup in the evening. So that's how I will make it into a tea. Once again, 1 tablespoon of burdock root. 1 teaspoon of burdock root, 1 teaspoon of chicory root, 1 teaspoon of dandelion, 1 tablespoon of nettle leaf. Put the 3 roots, burdock, chicory, and dandelion into a pot. Add 2 cups of water. Let it simmer for 15 minutes. You turn off the heat and you add the nettle leaf. You cover and steep it for 10 minutes and then strain and drink it. 1 cup in the morning, 1 cup in the evening. So hopefully this is edifying. I'm going to end it by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Harakak, Wadash, Lai, Yum. Double honors once again to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom.